Had my privates become public for a game? What in the agony? Ooh, the shame. And we are live. Privates become public for a game?
Why am I hearing Eric's voice on echo?
Because Eric forgot to mute it.
Oh,
So did Doug.
Well, welcome, Internet, to our live broadcast for Big Canvas, lively streaming Mother's Day edition.
Yay!
Yay!
Happy moms!
Happy moms! Hope everybody called their moms today, and if that's not something you're able to do, think of them fondly or ill, whichever is your relationship.
And while they're doing that banter, I'm just grabbing some folks here. So hold on.
They can hear you when you're dismissing my conversation as banter, Eric.
And he's just like, I'm grabbing some folks.
Yeah, well, Tracy's just BSing on the stream. It's called being a good host. People could be watching this now or in the future.
Well, only if they watch it live.
Oh, you're gonna cut this actually after we're done?
I have that power.
Oh.
Well, that doesn't mean it's happening.
Here, I am currently posting into our events.
Well, we are excited to be here again, live from our homes into your homes or wherever you're streaming this, on whoever's toilet you may find us.
Or bed, wherever you're comfortable.
It's bad sleep hygiene to look at your phone on your bed.
That is true.
And it's just bad regular hygiene to look at it on the toilet. So what are you going to do?
And if you drop it, then you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I see Ben is online, so Ben
Welcome,
is here.
Ben. Welcome.
Like I said, I've posted it to the event, and we have now posted it to the page. So hopefully, thank you guys so much.
Hopefully, thank you.
Yeah, hopefully.
We hope to thank you. But we'll see. That's on you.
We'll at least just thank Ben right now.
That's
Hi,
right.
Ben.
Thank you for your eternal support.
Oh, the numbers are going up. It's getting official. This thing may be happening.
Whoo! Welcome, welcome. We're going to be your unofficial moms for the evening.
Oh, Tracy, you are our official mom.
I'm an official mom.
Yes,
Aw.
you are ours.
Aw.
Eric's like,
I'm trying to figure out if that's a prize or not.
I don't think it is. I think it's like a consolation.
For who?
For you, really, to be
Oh, all right, man.
Eric and I's mother for the day.
Look, someone's got to keep you boys in line.
That's true. That is very true.
Scold you when necessary.
We're waiting for the scolding because we know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. It's going to happen. All right, we're just getting some technical things out of the way here.
Well, we are doing fairly well right now. We are trying to help a little bit with that lag, guys. Just so you know.
Is there a lag?
There was a lag.
In our stream? That can't be.
But we've got at least, we're looking like 26 people.
Great.
Wow.
Let's keep checking in and telling everyone how many of them are watching us.
Well, I'm not naming names. I'm not being weird about it.
Oh, I'll name names.
Well, that's why we don't allow stuff.
All right.
Well, thank you. Eric, let me know when we're ready to jump into our show here and we can play. We're here to play.
Exactly. I think we are going to be probably as good as we're going to be. It's a little still.
Love that confidence.
I nothing. I give nothing else, but yes, no, we should be good to go.
It may happen. It may not.
Another strong word, should. This is the level of confidence one gains from improv.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, we've got some fun games for you here. Some familiar are those who tuned in to our stream last week, but of course, mixing things up, and of course, it's improv, so none of it is going to be the same. We couldn't repeat it if we wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think we could. We don't have that good of memories anymore.
I had to convince Eric that we had actually played one of these last week. He didn't believe me.
And I still won't.
It's that ephemeral of a thing. It's improv. Once it's done, it's gone. Except that it isn't. It's still on our stream. You can watch last week's episode and enjoy an hour and 20 minutes of our sparkling wit.
It's like sparkling water.
Exactly. It is exactly like sparkling water.
It's bubbly.
We are our comedy is like the LaCroix of improv comedy.
LaCroix. I love it.
Oh, now I'm doing it. Now I'm having the thing happen where you can hear me. All right, now that's gone. I wanted to pull up our chat.
So yes, we will be. You might as well just do the full explanation, Tracy, of who we are and what we do.
Well, I can't imagine if you've tuned in, if you clicked this link, you don't know the answer to most of those questions. But if you don't, we are Big Canvas. We are located in Omaha, Nebraska. We are a nonprofit organization that believes comedy is for everyone. We teach and perform improv at our location in the Blackstone district of Omaha. But right now we're all sequestered in our homes, and we want to bring that improv comedy to you through your screens on these little black mirrors. Did you know that that's why that show is called that? That's called Black Mirror because of the devices we all stare at. You're welcome for that sci-fi peel behind the curtain. They're not going to do another season of that because they said that it would be too depressing to release in 2020.
And too real.
But we aren't. We're here to liven your spirits with some short-form improv games, not unlike you may have seen in Whose Line Is It Anyway? And to kick those games off, we are going to start with The Greatest Story Ever Told, where we will be improvising a story for you with a beginning, middle, and end, all made up based on a title that you are going to provide to us in the comments. We're looking for the name of a person and a type of object to form our title. And once we have that, we are going to trade off turns, improvising this story. It's last week it got pretty deep, so we'll see where we take it this week.
Looks like Lee gave us Charles and Book.
Charles and Book. All right, we've got Charles Book. That's not a bad name just on its own, Charles Book. We'll call this Charles's Book. That's the name of our story. It's the possessive, Charles's Book.
Okay.
All right, are we ready, gentlemen?
I'm ready.
All right. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Charles, whose most prized possession in all of the world was his diary. In this diary, Charles kept all his deepest thoughts, dreams, wishes, concerns, everything that floated around Charles's mind was written down and contained in this book. One day, Charles decided that he needed a relaxing vista in which to scribe his innermost thoughts. So he found himself upon a glen, a beautiful grassy glen, and sat beneath a large tree.
As he sat beneath the large tree, he began to look for something that he could write with in this great book. And unfortunately, he appeared to have lost the thing that he was looking for that he could write with. So Charles began to kind of look around and noticed that he had a piece of a stick of some. He had a piece of a stick, and what Charles tried to do is he tried to sharpen that stick to the point where he could make a very fine point that he could maybe perhaps do something with and be able to use. But Charles eventually realized he needed something. If he just rubbed a pointed stick on a book, all it would do is rip up his diary, and that would be a very big issue indeed.
But then he realized that this tree was leaking out a substance. It was a very sticky substance. It was called sap, and that sap was yellow. And that yellow sap he was able to use on the end of his stick and start to write. So he started to pen this lovely story on top of a glen about his life and where he'd been and where he was going and the friends that he had met along the way.
And Charles realized that, ironically, the thoughts that he was writing down with this sharpened stick, the thoughts themselves were as sappy as the substance in which he was writing them. He thought, this is just embarrassing. These thoughts I'm writing down here, they're just, I'm just pouring out emotions all over this diary. This is, where's the substance? Where's the real the real eureka moments? I want to think something someone's never thought of before. I want to write something down on this page that's going to change the way that we as humans think from here on out. So Charles thought, and he thought, and he thought, and he just clenched his head, thinking, trying to wring out an original thought to pour into the pages. And he clenched his head so hard that he let out a scream, just an uncontrollable scream, which caused a squirrel to leap out of the tree in fright and land on Charles's head.
"Oh, what are you doing there?" the squirrel seemed to yell out to Charles. Charles was very frightened because this was the first animal that Charles had ever heard speak. He went, "Okay, do you understand me?" And the squirrel went, "Of course, I absolutely understand you. You're the person who is being very, very frustrated with being able to do something with yourself. You're trying to write something, right?" And Charles was like, "Well, yeah, it's kind of why I came out." "Well, you came out to the tree, of course," said the squirrel. And so, frankly, Charles didn't know what to do, so he got up and he ran. He ran as fast as he could, book in tow, with the pointed stick in his hand, and he tried to make all the way into town to tell somebody about the magical squirrel that could talk, that he understood. And he finally bumped into someone very quickly in town.
His name was Ed, and he was a shopsmith. This shopsmith named Ed tried to calm him down, saying, "Hey, you need to relax, Charles. What seems to be the problem?" And Charles, in all of his emotion, said, "There is like a squirrel back talking And Ed, the shopsmith owner, was like, well, squirrels don't talk. They may chirp a little bit, they may crickle a little bit, but they don't talk. And Charles looked at him frantic and he said, yes, just come with me all the way back to the glen, and I will tell you, and I will show you this talking squirrel. So Ed and Charles sauntered back, all while Charles is still trying to understand exactly what he had seen and exactly what had happened. And when they got to the glen, there was the squirrel blinking and staring at him, and just blinking and staring at him. And Charles said, why won't you talk? Why won't you say a thing? You were just talking to me just a few minutes ago.
And the squirrel, staring at Charles and Ed, blinking, just shrugged its shoulders and scampered off. Charles couldn't believe this. He's like, no, he really was doing that. He was talking right before me. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe it. And you know what? Charles realizes, I wrote it down in my book, the whole conversation that the squirrel and I had. I was writing it down this whole time. It was as it was happening in my diary. Here, you need to read this. And he hands Ed the book, and Ed is flipping through the book, and he's just getting more and more excited as he's reading it. He says, Charles, this is really good. This is some excellent stuff. I can't believe this. You're really something, you should be published. And Charles sheepishly says, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, they're just, just my own ramblings, thoughts. I mean, you really think I'm that good? And Ed, he helps Charles take his book, his diary, to see publishers, editors, to get his book out there, and it gets published, and it becomes a bestseller. And it's read far and wide by human and squirrel, and becomes the most beloved book of all time.
So Charles, one day, after all of his fame, decides to go back to the tree where the story originally started. And he had a couple of acorns in his hand, and he put them down by his side as if he was looking for a friend, expectedly. And unfortunately, the squirrel didn't come. And Charles just sat and he wrote on what he saw, and he sat and he sat, and he then got up, left the acorns there, and walked back to town. And he decided that maybe he didn't need to go to the tree anymore to write. Maybe he could just go on and do what he needed to do and come up with stories all on his own about things that maybe he didn't see. And that unfortunately led to Charles' first flop as a book writer. And then he went back to the tree.
He went looking for the squirrel, and still no squirrel. And that's when he realized that the squirrel must have been in a figment of his imagination, because really, you have to be nuts to write a book. But then he realized, wait, if that squirrel was a figment of my imagination, maybe there are other figments of my imagination. So he went back home and sat under the candlelight and started writing an American novel that would change the world, and people would read it far and wide, and the Omaha Community Playhouse would do it for decades and decades and decades, until finally one day we all knew the true meaning of Christmas.
So the moral of the story is, if you're going to write a lot, get paid by the word.
Oh, good old Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens.
It's a true story. That's how the Christmas Carol came to be.
I heard that's how it was written. Yes, it was because of a squirrel.
Nicholas Nickleby, entirely by a gray squirrel. Yeah. So I put the prompt out in the chat.
Excellent. Now that we've had our fun and are completely loopy, you get to see more of it. We're going to play a game called New Choice, and Eric put out on the or Big Canvas put out there. We're looking for a relationship between two people, and what's going to happen in this game is I get to play Puppet Master this week. Eric and Tracy are going to do a scene, and in that scene, at any point in time, I can say new choice, and they have to change what their train of thought is, and wherever they go is what happens next with the scene. So let's just demonstrate this. Tracy, you want to just say anything about your day?
I had a delicious lunch.
New choice.
I had an atrocious lunch.
New choice.
I haven't eaten in weeks.
There you go. And that's what happens when you have no food in the grocery stores and, you know, you don't really have anything.
I'm afraid to go anywhere.
Right. And you're afraid to go anywhere. So our lovely idea comes from Jill, and it's called Fishmongers. So your relationship is fishmongers, and this is New Choice.
All right, my lady. What would you like? We are here on the pike and the pier. You could literally pick any kind of fish you would like, and I would cut it up and dehead it for you.
Or any kind of fish I could like.
Any kind of fish you'd like. We got salmon, we got pike, we've got mung.
You say mung?
Yeah, mung fish.
No, that was kind of bean.
No, it's a mung beetle.
Oh, that's right. Mung bean and mung fish are two different types of food.
Slightly different types of food, my lady.
Oh, well, you know, I've had quite a craving for some delicious ahi tuna. I've had quite a craving for delicious sea bass.
New choice.
I've had quite a craving for a delicious eel.
Moray or lamprey?
Ooh, one of each.
Okay, all right. Well, again, the moray is going to take a little bit longer because you have to get a little bit deeper. So it's a little bit more expensive.
Oh, that's fine by me. I've literally nowhere else to go.
Fair enough. All right. Do you want them headed or not headed? I got to make sure.
Oh, this is a...
Last thing you want to do is rub up against the lamprey and have that sucker stuck on your arm.
It's true. But they're just not the same. You know, it doesn't feel like I'm having fresh eel unless I see the eyes peering back at me.
Right. Okay. So head on. I know the moray will stare at you all day, and that's no doubt as long as you watch out for the head. So that's fine. But, you know, the lamprey, we've got that. So I can go ahead and get that bottled up, 2 sets of 20, put it on the scale. Salmon.
New choice.
Carp.
New choice.
Marlin.
New choice.
Tito. Tito? Oh, come on, you know what a Tito is. It's a marlin with a little bit of more salmon on top.
Oh, you know, kind of didn't think I was in the mood for it, but now you mentioned it, that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So, all right. So I got the two, got the lamprey, put the marlin, got the Tito.
You know, it turned out to be quite a lot of food I'm getting here for just one person to eat, you know. I don't know how to say this exactly, but, I mean, do you have any plans later?
Well, new choice.
I don't know how to say this exactly, but you know anyone?
New choice.
I don't know how to say this exactly, but is it gluttonous to eat 2 whole eels and a salmon by yourself?
Are you doing it in one seating?
I think I just feel like a right old pig, you know, just chop it all down. But it all looks so good. You know, they always say don't go to the fish market on an empty stomach.
New choice.
You know, they always say don't go to the fish market, period.
New choice.
You know what they say? Don't go to the fish market, go to the mammal market.
That's right. You have to, well, because it's so much more.
The fish are just so tricky, you know. You gotta. They're so. It's such a delicate food to prepare. I mean, you can cook rat any old way, and it tastes fine.
Exactly. I mean, the only eggs you'll find here are from caviar. So,
That's strange because I would think you'd find more eggs than that because of how fish reproduce.
well, no, again, there's only eggs that you could actually eat.
Oh,
Caviar. Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Not like all the eggs you would find in the mammal market.
Correct. I mean, you got chickens. Chickens are mammals, right?
I'm sure that's true. Never question a fishmonger. That's what my mom always told me.
When he's not talking about fish, that's all I say. Put that one on the wall.
Yes.
Right. Look, I have to ask this because everybody does. This is your first time in the market, right?
Does it show?
Kind of show.
Oh, I was hoping. I just hate that look. You know, people's like, first timer.
Yeah. So we normally throw these to you from a distance.
Oh, yes.
It's kind of a thing we do.
Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to let you know right now, the eels, they're going to fly like a champ. It's going to be delightful. The Tito may vary a little because you've got a lump on it, you know.
New choice.
It might vary a little because, you know, the marlin nose very much cuts through a lot quicker. So you have to be able to see the nose coming, lean off to the side, and then, you know, catch it kind of like a gator.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice.
Right.
I think I'm ready.
Okay. So we'll pay here.
I would hate to have to see you guys throw fish between the two screens.
I wouldn't.
Oh, goodness.
Squirrel.
Chickens
fish.
are mammals.
Yeah, chicken are very much mammals. I don't care what you all say.
You know, I closed my eyes there for a minute, and I could have swore you sounded like a famous English actor.
Mm-hmm.
I can't place the famous English actor, but you sounded like it.
Well, it's a famous English actor that does a lot of work in Australia. So that's where that goes. So we are now going to move on to a game that is called ABC. Now, this is a particular game that I put the suggestions out in the chat where we're going to have Doug and Tracy perform a scene together in which basically each other's names or each other's lines, will start with consecutive letters of the alphabet. So if Tracy's line started with A, Doug's line would start with B, Tracy's next line would start with C, so on and so forth. So what I am needing first from the chat, and again, I kind of asked these both at the same time, so don't worry about filling them, giving us either or here, where we have both, we're asking for a profession, and we are asking for a letter of the alphabet as well. I'll let a couple more come in because I was kind of on a bit of a delay there. So let's see.
Is being Helen Mirren a professional on its own?
I would love to be Helen Mirren.
Is for Helen Mirren. She's a well-paid Helen Mirren.
And she's a letter of her own.
She's her own letter. So I'm actually going to take one of each. I'm going to take Ben's suggestion of weather person, and I'm going to take David's suggestion of the letter Q. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to, like I said, start at Q, go through to Z, then go to A, and then come back to Q. We will then go ahead and see how this scene goes as you are both weathermen. And begin.
Quite a bad day for weather, don't you think? I think we've worked harder today and this week since we've worked our entire career.
Right. I can't believe it. You know, it's yeah. They tell you that you just can't. You don't know what to expect when you move out to the Midwest. But boy, it's just I mean, gosh, sun, snow, rain, just everything within a 24-hour period.
Sleet. We've had sleet too. Can you believe it? We've had so much different weather. It's been crazy.
True. But you know, it's good. It keeps you active, keeps the mind going, you know, flex those meteorological muscles.
Usually I don't like to flex my muscles, but you know, this week I think we've done a fantastic. I think we should be up for weather Emmys, don't you?
Very disappointed is what I'd be if we weren't. I mean, we are one of the rare two-person weather teams. You know, we tag team weather people. That's us. You know, keeps it exciting, keeps it fresh, keeps the audience engaged.
Weather gods, that's what I like to call us. We are the weather gods of the Midwest.
Exactly.
Ah.
Actually.
You do a good job of using those X words and those Z words and things like that. I'm pretty proud of you. You know, when you say exactly and you put that X in front of it, it's more meaningful. The people really know that bad weather's coming when you say X words and Z words with the X and the Z used as E's and S's.
Zachary, if I've told you once, I've told you 100 times. It's all about finding your catchphrase, you know. People, it's something they look for, something your signature move, you know. For me, it's using the letter X in words where it doesn't necessarily need to be. And, you know, for you, you know, people know you're really getting down to business when you push up those sleeves of yours, right? People get, oh, you push up the sleeves. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
All around the world, it's known for the roll-up. You know, you can tell that the tornadoes are near, and the snow is going to be deep when my sleeves are basically up to my shoulders.
Booyah! That's all I have to say. You know, it's why we're in the weather game. You know, it's not just a science. You're a showman.
Couldn't have said it better than myself. You know, it's like we are the two best weather gods in the world because we share the same brain. We think exactly alike.
Definitely. You know, this has been the most rewarding professional partnership I think I've ever had.
Every now and then I kind of doubt our work. You know, I kind of doubt our usefulness in the world because, you know, really we only get 3 minutes of television time, you know, a minute to start and 2 minutes in the middle and we're done. You know, sports aren't even happening right now and they're getting more television time than we are.
Frankly, you're right. It's not easy, you know. We don't get the time to shine that other people in the news hour tend to get. That's why you got to make the most of it. That's why you really gotta hit them with the old, you know, razzle dazzle.
Good idea. Razzle dazzle. Hit them fast, hit them hard, and then they know exactly what's going to happen in the weather world because we, the weather gods, have spoken.
Here's what I'm thinking we do for the next broadcast. All right, we find out what kind of weather it's going to be like, and then we dress up as that weather. I mean, how cute would that be? You know, like I'm a cloud and you're a raindrop.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think when it's going to snow, I'll dress up as a snowflake. You dress up as a shovel. It's absolutely brilliant. People will understand right away what the weather's going to be.
Just imagine the daytime Emmys we could be rolling in for that kind of weather broadcasting.
Killing it. We'd be killing it each and every week because each and every day we'd be getting an Emmy dropped on our door just because people would know the weather gods are dressing up today like sunshine and happiness.
Like the rain itself, just awards pouring down upon us. we'd have to carry iron umbrellas to protect our skulls.
Man, this is what the reason I got into this business. Everything that we have got to make an impact, and I think right now what we're talking about is gonna make an impact.
Now is the time. People are more starved than ever for connection, for content. They're reaching out, and we reach back as their trusted weather team.
Often when I was a kid, I used to say, man, I wish I could spend time with the weatherman. Now I am the weatherman, and I can spend time with people.
People are the luckiest people there have ever been. And it's important that we remind them that we're not just weather gods, we're weather people. They may look up to us, and rightly they should. We're fantastic at what we do, and we tell them the future, in a sense. But, I put my shoes on 1 foot at a time.
Playing games with my heart. That's incredible words. You just said it all in that beautiful sentence that you just laid out there.
Quiet. I think we're having a moment.
And that scene, I realized, I'm like, did I do 2 P's in a row at the very end? And that was ABC.
Roger Rabbit alphabet. You have a lot of P's.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a suggestion, and it's your next game, Doug.
Oh, is it mine? Oh, it is. Okay. So as we go out and get our suggestion, man, I couldn't even think of the word there because I was still using the alphabet in my head. We want to tell you about, there's this thing called Omaha Gives coming up very soon. It's May 20th, correct, Tracy? Is that the correct date? May 20th. Eric? They're both checking their phones frantically to make sure that Omaha Gives is coming up. And Big Canvas, being a nonprofit organization, needs all the giving we can get. So and especially now, since we can't have our theater open, we do this for free, and we're doing some free workshops. If you check in on, there it is. What does it say? Oh, May 20th. Omaha Gives right here in Omaha. And you can sign up and donate money on Omaha Gives and come check us out. And once we reopen the theater, like I've said recently, you can come and see all the new things that are happening at the theater, because there's going to be some different things, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So also they can go online and check out on Mondays. We do an improv jam, a free workshop. We jam a little bit. We have David Hayden, our education director. He does a great job in the opening to talk about a certain subject that we tackle, and then we play around for the next hour or so, however long everybody wants to stay. And then we've got workshops coming up, and I think we've already had a couple pass. So check out bigcanvascomedy.com for more information. bigcanvascomedy.com.
And you can find the Big Canvas Training Center on Facebook for links to join in our Monday workshop.
There you go. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, so experts. Let's go with experts on counterfeiting. Experts on counterfeiting. I've seen 2 suggestions. I'm going to go with the counterfeiting. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show. We have assembled 2 of the smartest people in the world here at our theater today, or on the World Wide Web via Zoom. And we want to thank them for joining us. First, you, sir, please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
Hey, I'm Clive, and I'm from around. Where you from? That's what I'm asking.
I'm from Studio 64.
Hey, that's cool. That's great. I'm from around. I don't like to keep my feet on the ground in one place for too long. But I got what you're looking for, I think.
But Clive, you keep reaching for those stars, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. That's what you got to do. You're reaching for stars. I got maps to the stars. You want a map to the stars? I can get you. You want to go see. You want to go see Justin Bieber's house. You want to. You can go see. You want to go see Tammy Wynette.
I don't need to now. I am a star in my own as the expert here on the panel, and so I pretty much know where they all live. But that's that. Thank you, Clive.
Right.
Clive, that's fantastic. Now, how about you, participant number 2, expert number 2? Please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from.
My name is Oscar Madison, and my mom says I shouldn't tell you where I live.
Oscar, how old are you?
I'm gonna be 9 in a couple of months.
9. Excellent. Well, I'm glad we brought you on.
Okay.
Yeah, your mom's right, Oscar. You should never tell anyone where you live. You don't ever give your address out to no one.
Very true.
Nervous and fidgety. I'm not sure why.
Good call there, Oscar. Good call. So what we're going to do is first I'm going to ask you guys a question. Then we'll go out to our audience that's on the YouTube World Wide Web and see if they have any questions for our experts about counterfeiting or whatever else they would like to have. So we'll get to those questions in just a few minutes as they start to pour in. But first, let us ask Clive, what have you counterfeited, and what's the most unique thing that you have counterfeited?
Whoa, hey, I don't know who told you that I counterfeit anything. I mean, I have nothing but quality goods to offer. I got everything you're looking for, and it's legit. Who told you this? Who? I mean, give me their name, their actual first and last name.
Well, there's a guy named Phil that told me that you once gave him a counterfeit edition of the Hobbit trilogy.
Phil told you that? That was Phil?
Yes.
I tell you, he's gonna regret that he ever told you that. No, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. I mean, you why would you think it's counterfeit just because it was supposed to be just one book, but I gave you 3? So what? So is the movie. It's more accurate that way. If The Hobbit is 3 books now, just like the movie was 3 movies. 3's better than 1. Peter Jackson thought so, and I think so too.
Excellent. How about you, Oscar?
I'm sorry, I totally forgot what the question was.
Sorry.
I don't know why.
Counterfeiting. What's the most unique thing that you may have created or counterfeited?
Well, I mean, as far as like counterfeit is the thing I kind of usually work really well in, like paintings, and things like that. It's a kind of a situation. I was really young, so I would start in forgery, and I would be able to kind of match my mom and my dad, and then my doctors, and then my teachers, and then the principal. I was head of the principal a note he never wrote, but thought he did because his signature was so well. And then it was a case where I just started kind of slipping into the art world and finding like Matisse's and Lautrec's, and and then I kind of was able to get a free trip up and down the Champs-Elysees, where I was able to kind of look at other things like Gauguin's and Rembrandt's, and I was able to kind of really quickly make pretty good copies of them all. But they told me I should never do it and never, I'd be illegal. But if I was able to do it, not people know I do it, I'd be able to make lots of money based on it.
Those paintings pretty good, Oscar. We should talk. I want to see some of these paintings.
I'm not talking to you. You're weird.
It doesn't have to be weird. It could be business.
Ugh.
Okay, so which one of you do you think can make a better fake $20 bill?
Who thinks they could make a better fake $20 bill?
Yes.
I mean, of course, we both think each other could. That's a stupid question.
I'm just reading them as they come across.
This sounds like entrapment. Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop.
No, but what if I needed to be taught? Could you teach me or our listeners, our viewers, how to make a fake $20 bill?
Oof.
I mean, absolutely, I could. I could teach you how to do that. Because like the old saying goes, those who can't teach, and of course I can't make a fake $20 bill, that's a illegal crime. And but I'd show you if you got some kind of business available where we could where said bills could be cleaned in some way. What do you do? What do you do for a living?
I host a panel of experts show.
A lot of cash moving in that?
No. A lot of experts, not a lot of cash.
Pass.
Okay. All right. Well, Oscar, I have a specific question for you. Have you ever counterfeited a Bob Ross?
No, because everybody and their mother counterfeits a Bob Ross. It's literally you paid a log with him. He even talks about the fact that he makes a mistake in each individual painting because, much like all of us, none of us are infallible. So it's a case where everyone enjoys the quote happy little mistakes. That's kind of why. But I want to kind of go back to the other question because I feel like I didn't really get a chance to answer it.
Well, go right ahead. It's your show.
If you want to be able to make a good counterfeit of a 20, you have to be able to find the plates that would be able to kind of match that. And you also have to find the proper parchment and be able to thread through the line of the counterfeit that most people see in the background of the image marketing. Then it's a situation where the ink is a very specific shade of green that a lot of people cannot quite pin down because it is their own thing. But you also have to find not only the lighter shade of it for the inside of the background, you have to find the darker shade of it for the actual like etching around the end. Also make sure that you spell E pluribus unum right, so it does take a little bit of like knowledge and Latin to be able to get properly. And again, you also have to make sure you have the proper president on the proper bill, unless of course you're talking about the 100 because Ben Franklin never was a president.
It's good. This is good stuff.
Clive, are you getting all this down?
None of your business.
Learning a lot from the 9-year-old.
I'm gonna be 9. I'm not 9 yet.
You're not 9 yet. Okay. Well, here's a very important question that just came across. We've got 2 more questions. Question number 1, do you like dogs or cats? How about you, Clive?
This also sounds like an entrapment. Are you a veterinarian? You have to tell me if you are.
No, I'm just really curious to find out if you had a pet and what their pet's first name was.
That's
like your first pet. What was the name of your first pet?
No, I'm on to you. I know what this is. This is called social engineering, and you're not going to get me with that.
Okay, how about you, Oscar? Dog or cat?
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig. What's the name of your guinea pig?
Well, I mean, are you talking about current one or my first one?
Your first one.
Well, the first one's name was Captain Squeakers. And you have to spell his name fully out, no abbreviation. It's not like CPTN. It's CATTIAN Squeakers.
Excellent.
But
For our final question, this one is really, what's that?
I don't use that for any of my codes. I make up another name for the pet.
What's your other name for your pet?
That's social engineering. I'm not telling you.
Oh, okay. All right.
You got it, Oscar.
You're still.
Finally, the final question is: how do we know that neither of you or either of you are not counterfeit yourself?
I mean, if I'm here, then you're here with me, right? So, I mean, I can touch myself. That feels real.
But I can't touch you.
Oh no!
I know what this is. This is it's one of those Blade Runner questionnaires. You're trying to find out if I'm a replicant.
Right.
I don't even know.
You asked me
Replicant.
all these tricky questions. You're looking at the iris of my eye and trying to look for any kind of reactions, huh?
Yep.
You're not doing that, okay? I know I'm real. You're not gonna get into my head, okay? Silver foil unicorn origami is gonna mess me up, okay? I'm a person.
That you are real. Have you ever looked at the backside of your hand?
I mean, who has ever looked at the backside of your head? No one.
I have
Ow.
mirrors.
What?
I have mirrors.
You have numbers. You have numbers, Oscar.
No, I have mirrors. Mirrors.
Mirrors on the backside of your hand?
No, I didn't know. You said backside. You said backside of the head.
Oscar's a replicant. He's a replicant.
Not a spell replicant.
No little 8.5-year-old boy knows that much about counterfeiting money. That is a replicant.
I just wasn't allowed as a kid.
Those are robot crocodile tears, okay? I'm not buying this. I think that's a real kid. He's crying really hard. I think that's a real kid. I messed up. I'm sorry.
I think we all did. I think we pushed too hard.
I'm sorry, little boy.
Oscar, are you going to be all right?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. You want a gold watch? I can give you a gold watch.
Yeah, I want a gold watch.
Okay. Would that make you feel better if I give you a gold watch?
You take a gold watch.
Okay.
This kid is good.
I also got Blu-rays of Bad Boys 3, Trolls 2, and everything else that didn't come to theaters because of the pandemic.
You know what would really make me happy?
Yeah. What?
You gave me the last 4 digits of your social security number.
It's 1306.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Oh, well, no!
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Give a big round of applause to our experts.
Clive has been hoisted by their own petard.
Jesus.
Incredible. Do we want to jump to number of words? Do we want to jump to that, or do we want to continue down the path that we're on?
We can jump down a number of words if you'd like.
You guys tell me what you want to do. I am here to drink my drink.
Let's jump down a number of words, see how quickly this goes.
This game is called Number of Words. This is a game for all three of us. We're going to do a scene together, the three of us, and for each member in this scene, we're each going to need to be assigned a number. So we're going to look in the chat here for a location for the scene to take place in, and also a number. We should probably establish a range for the numbers.
8,742.
Yeah, I say, anywhere between 1 and 10 probably is the limit, the max.
You just need one, or do you need like 3?
We need 3 different numbers, but I figured that more than one person was going to give them, so we wouldn't have to worry. I like Nuber Betuin 1 and 10 is how we asked for that.
Nuber Betuin? That sounds like a Star Wars character.
Yes.
I am Nuber Betuin.
I wonder which ones Eric got the chance to type before the show started.
The Brown Squadron Rebel Fighter Nuber Tebrin. It's the same species as Sebulba from episode 1 in the pod.
Oh, Sebulba.
I don't know what Star Wars. You guys are doing weird stuff now.
We got it.
We got
a Blade Runner reference. That was spectacular.
I'm happy to reference the Phantom Menace for the rest of this whole chat if we'd like. But Eric looks like he wouldn't like that.
I'm fine. I just wouldn't say anything the whole time.
David said Nuber Betuin is a replicant.
A replicant. All right.
Done. You know what? Someone else can type and do their own horrible misspellings.
All right. We've got we've got the numbers 2, 7, and 1 are the common numbers being fed to us here. So Eric can only speak in sentences of 2 words.
Okay, cool.
Doug can speak in sentences of 7 words.
Damn you, Tracy.
And
for the
Tracy can only speak in sentences of 1 word. So in this scene, which will be taking place at a taco cabana.
Cabana.
Yes.
Or wasn't he?
Taco cabana.
The hottest taco cabana.
The taco cabana. The 3 of us will do a scene together, and in that scene, I will be speaking. I can only speak 1-word sentences. Eric will speak 2-word sentences, and Doug will speak 7-word sentences. So here we are in number of words at the taco cabana.
Taco Cabana.
So, do you sell tacos here now?
Do you?
No, do you sell tacos here now?
Not you.
Hungry.
I see.
We are traveling and really, really hungry.
Hungry.
My kid is starving and needs food.
Taco.
Old.
What did you say? Are mean?
How old?
Oh, my child is only 7 today.
Dis.
And you?
Me, I am 42 today. Yes.
What food?
Honey,
Taco.
what would you like for dinner?
Taco.
So that would be 2 tacos, enchilada.
And enchilada?
I kind of ran them together, but yes.
Any drink?
Honey, what would you like to drink?
Lemonade.
1 lemonade and how about a Coke?
Strawberry lemonade?
Lemonade.
Just a regular lemonade, too much.
Lemon.
For here?
Let's get this one to go, okay?
To go.
Hungry.
And can we hurry it up?
Please, sir.
Thank you. Just go faster, please.
$15.
Here is the money. Now let's move.
Canadian coin.
Oh, sorry. Did I give you a loonie or a toonie?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, you need a loonie or a toonie.
Cartoons.
Doesn't work.
The
Why?
Need more.
Why?
need more loonies and toonies from me?
No loonies
Why?
or toonies.
But you asked for them. Do you?
Did not.
Oh, Well, then here's U.S. cash.
Thank you.
Hungry.
One moment.
Okay.
Honey, we will get on the road very soon.
Oven's broken.
What?
That can't be real. Ovens never break.
Lies.
Machine's broken.
Give me money back and I will go.
Hungry.
Okay, here.
You heard the girl. We need money
Eat.
or food, whichever comes first. You.
Eat.
Back away. Back away.
Hungry.
Help me!
Hungry.
Help me!
Hungry.
I'm just gonna let her eat you.
Chorizo. End scene.
Thank you.
Oh.
Well, I definitely know where my horror script's starting now from now on.
The
I don't
last
think I ever
night is
really
the Taco
stuck with
Cabana.
7. You know, I came close.
I just realized I can literally be behind the counter and only use 2 words for every interaction. That is horrible.
You have a great customer service.
Yeah. So now I have to type this out while I talk. So this will be fun and hard to read.
Uh-oh.
So now we're going to move on to a game of 185.
Don't spell out 185. Just use the numbers.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
So what we're going to basically be doing is we're going to be coming up with, misspelled suggestion as I started. And we'll continue to do so. There are about 5 E's in the word now. So we need suggestions of things like animals and professions and
Basically a lot of nouns.
objects and all of that kind of stuff that can enter a bar. Objects has an A now.
Abject.
Abjects. Abjects. That would be that. And we're going to be doing this game. And when we start this game, we'll have those. It's just a situation of, we'll be needing a bunch of these. So even if we don't necessarily grab your suggestion immediately, or if we start doing jokes about other things, don't hesitate to throw your suggestion in. We'll be taking a bunch of these at a time. This is probably also going to be our last game of the evening. He looks at it.
Yes.
That's right.
Sadly, we can only do this for like an hour and 15 minutes before Zoom starts to take all of our information.
Exactly. So with that being said, it's going to end up happening. We also want to make sure, we are fully aware of what day it is. So I would like to, me personally, send out a warm and happy hug as best as we can to all of the mothers, expected mothers, grandmothers, mothers of pets, mothers of all of that kind of, all of those kind of moms. If you've been an influence in someone's life and care for someone, we do want to say thank you so much for doing everything that you do. I know me personally, I have one birth mother, but I have many mothers that check in on me and care about me and care for me. And I truly do appreciate all of them.
Agreed. Ditto. Beautiful statement, Eric.
With that also being said, we don't know necessarily when the next time we're going to be doing one of these live streaming shows, but please keep your eyes peeled to Facebook for us. Again, if you search Big Canvas NE, and the NE stands for Nebraska, you should be able to find us. We're also at bigcanvascomedy.com. Likewise, as you're watching this live stream, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and click that bell. Wow, that feels weird to say.
Doesn't it sound weird? That was awesome.
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
Hit,
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe puts you in your subscription box. If you click that bell, basically what happens is you get notified whenever we post this. And frankly, right now, considering we can't do a lot of building shows, more than likely it will be a stream, will be the next video that you'll see here. We try not to spam too much about anything else as far as that goes, but we do want to make sure that you guys are fully made aware. And if you know someone would enjoy this, tell them to come catch it. And if they really do like it, talk to them about shows that we have at Big Canvas.
And classes.
And classes and all of that kind of stuff. So we just want to be out there for you guys. So now I think we finally got enough of these that I think we can start running through them. Like I said, if one strikes your fancy, throw it in. Maybe we missed it the first time it came around. So we will, once again, as the way that this game works is we'll have 185 blanks walk into a bar, and then we take it from there. So with that being said, our first suggestion is 185 koalas into a bar.
Ooh. "185 koalas walk into a bar, and the bartender jumps because he's scared, and the koalas say, 'Oh, sorry, we didn't mean to bamboozle you.'"
Wow.
I know, I tried.
Yeah.
185 koalas walk into a bar. And they walk right up to the bar and say to the bartender, "G'day, mate." The bartender says, "That's your opinion."
Wow. 185 koalas walk into a bar, and they walk up to the bartender, and they're like, "So does this bar sell food?" And the bartender goes, "Yeah, sure." And it's like, "Well, what do you have?" And the bartender says, "We've got soup." And the koalas go, "Ah, ma soup is sal." Bamboozled.
185 koalas walk into a bar. Bartender asks them, "What do you have?" The koalas say, "Oh, I'll have a eucalyptus julep." They wouldn't want mint in it.
Yeah, no. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next one, and I am interested to see how we play with this. 185 serial killers walk into
185 serial killers walk into a bar, followed by 185 podcasters.
It's technically twice as many.
185 serial killers walk into a Home Depot looking for plastic sheeting and knives and saws, and the 185 Home Depot workers are not to be found anywhere. I'm moving on.
Wow. 185 serial killers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "What are you guys doing here?" And the serial killers say, "Well, we heard it's ladies' night. We figured we'd take a stab at it."
No.
185 serial killers walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Hey, haven't I seen your face at the post office before?"
185 serial killers walk into the bar, and the bartender goes, "Alls we have is Frosted Flakes."
Oh, God. All right, I'm stopping that now.
It was a cereal bar.
I like it. That was beautiful.
But I love you. We're going to go ahead and move on now to 185 ghosts walk into a bar.
185 ghosts walk into a bar, and a chill goes up the bartender's spine. And he said, "That's weird. Bar's empty tonight."
Similar joke. 185 ghosts walk into a bar, and the door never opens. Thank you, Tracy.
185 ghosts, shadows, and other creatures walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, I'm sorry, we don't serve ghosts because really you can't pick up the drink and drink it, or you can't pay because you have no money because you're dead and you're a ghost." So
85 ghosts walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "What do you have?" And the ghosts were like, "I'll take some of your finest spirits."
Ooh.
oh, nice.
185 ghosts walk into a bar. Bartender says, sorry, I'm going to have to see some ID. This says you're 12. I'm sorry, you're too young to drink. And the ghost says, but I've been dead for 100 years. He died when he was 12.
Perfect.
Bad story.
We'll get weird with this one. Civil War reenactors.
Oh. 185 Civil War reenactors walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Wait, is it cosplay day?"
185 Civil War reenactors walk into a bar, and bartender asks, how are you going to be paying tonight? And the Civil War reenactors say, you accept squirrel pelts, yes?
It's beautiful. I can't honestly come up with one because I'm a Marine person. We'll do we'll do this way. 185 gerbils walk into a bar. Gerbils.
185 gerbils walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, you gerbils, we can't serve you." And the gerbils say, "Rats."
185 gerbils walk into a bar. The bartender says, what brings you fellas in here? And the gerbils say, we were just abandoned by 185 preschools.
185 gerbils walk into a bar. They have a great night and they leave. And they come back another night, and it seems like they're coming the exact same way. So 185 of them show up, and they leave. And then they come back, and they're walking the exact same way. And he's kind of noticed as they've been walking, they kind of leave their bottles and stuff like that as they walk out. And then on the fifth night, which was a Friday, the gerbils all come in, and the bartender says he can't help but notice. He goes, "You guys really seem to be, leaving a lot of stuff behind." And they went, "Yeah, that's our habit trail."
185 gerbils walk into a bar, and the bartender's like, "Whoa, how did you get here?" And the gerbils all say, "Well, we brought 185 Kia Sportages."
That's a deep cut.
Thank you.
Deep reference.
185 gerbils walk into a bar, and followed by 185 Richard Gears, and they sidle up to the gerbils and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
I should have stopped you when I had the chance. And that's bad if I'm on that end of the conversation.
Now is it 185 Richard Gears or 185 Richard's Gear? What's the plural on that?
Chris Steakhouse. So that being said, let's go ahead and I'll do it. Heck with it. Well, no, I've already done. We'll say bass players. 185 bass players walk into a bar.
185 bass players walk into the bar, and no one noticed.
185 bass players walk into a bar, And the bartender says, I need all of you guys to, if you're getting one, I'm not starting a new tab for any of you. And then all the bass players leave.
$185 bass players walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Oh, hey, so y'all fishmongers?" Oh no, those are bass players.
Bass players.
185 bass players walk into a bar, and 5 minutes later, there's one leaves, and there's 184 bass players, and 5 minutes pass, and another one leaves, and there's 183 bass players, and the bartender says, "Huh, another one bites the dust."
185 bass players walk into a bar. They're all sitting there and they're having fun, and somebody makes the mistake of pulling out their guitar, and they all start playing. And then finally, after about an hour, a guy walks in and he goes, "I'm the percussionist, for God's sake, would one of you get on rhythm?"
185 bass players walk into a bar. Bartender asks them, "Oh, hey, how'd you find the place?" The bass player replied, "I saw the sign."
Oh.
The bartender says, "Good on you, Ace."
185 bass players walk into the bar, and the bartender's like, "You know what? This time I think I'll serve you, but you have to leave upright."
Who are you two? Me?
That's a good one. Come on, Eric.
I know.
That was good.
Mad because I didn't do it. So we're gonna move on to our final one. 100.
Oh.
It's for the day. 185 mothers walk into a bar.
Oh. 185 mothers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Drinks are free, Mom."
185 mothers walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "What do you have?" And the mothers say, "Oh, nothing for me, sweetie, but are you eating enough?"
185 mothers walk into the bar, and the bartender says, "Mom, Mommy, Mom, Mommy, Mom, Mommy, Mom, Mom, Mommy, Mom."
A 185 mothers walk into the bar, and they have a drink, and they set it down, and the bartender goes, "Of course, no, that's fine. I'm gonna be the one to pick up all of this because I'm the only one that picks up in this house."
Wow, that got real. We don't really want to badmouth moms, do we?
185 mothers. I'm going to do the one I usually do for teachers. 185 mothers walk into the bar, and one of them goes up to the bartender and says, "Can I get a drink?" And the bartender says, "I don't know. Can you?"
185 mothers walk into a bar. Bartender asks, "What do you have?" And the mothers reply, "The tallest glass of wine that you have."
That's just real.
Last ones.
185 moms walk into a bar because they've just spent the entire day isolated with their family, and we're looking for something to drink and looking for some place to get away from everybody on this Mother's Day, because everybody thought they'd come over and social distance and sit on the front porch 7 feet apart from everyone, and Mom just needed a drink. I don't know if that's supposed to be funny, but real.
Okay, Doug?
Everything all right?
I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom.
Well, before we get into an existential crisis with Douglas.
Help me. Get me out of the house.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. and coming on and seeing us. We greatly appreciate everybody that sees this. If you enjoyed it, show it to a friend. If you didn't, show it to an enemy.
And let us know if you're enjoying these. The best way to keep us doing them is to tell us that you like them.
Yes. And, eventually maybe we might get it figured out to the point where you don't see 5 minutes of me going, okay, we're on, and typing.
Yes.
That's everyone's favorite part.
Yeah, I know.
That's what everybody's writing right now. We love Eric confused and
Don't do that.
typing.
More dead air, please.
Need that as pity. So thank you guys.
And next time I think we'll have some guests. We'll get some guests on and do some weirder stuff.
Yeah,
You got to be sick of these three, right?
Right.
of course.
We're never sick of the Hamburglar that pops up when Eric goes away.
Robble. That's not the Hamburglar.
Not the Hamburglar.
Oh, is that Robble Robble?
Mac, how dare you both disrespect his name and rank?
That's right. Respect, if nothing else, the rank.
Yeah, respect the badge, if not the man. So thank you guys so much.
Next time I'm going to use a Mac Tonight avatar.
Hey, I'm all for Mac the Knight. So good night, everybody. Thank you so much. And once again, happy Mother's Day.
Good night. Thank you.
Love you, Mom.
Call
Oh,
her. She misses you.
call her. Yes.
Call her.
Never call, you never write.
You never talk. And when you show up, you never eat. I don't get it.
Eat something for your mom.
For your mom.
You're too skinny.
Bye, everybody.